Hello, everyone. This is the Super Mario Galaxy A-Button Challenge Discord server, and we're doing a commentary of our World 1 task with as few A-presses as possible. I'm Moosh. Who else is in this call?
I'm Billy Ward.
Hello. I'm annoying.
I'm PurpleSun.
Alright, and how did everybody contribute to the formation of this task?
Yeah, so me, Moosh, and PurpleSun were like the three taskers that worked on it. And Annoying just kind of told us half the strats, really.
Yeah, he
And also
invented a
proved
lot
that
of
half the
tech.
strats were doable because they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right off the start, we start with a cutscene skip into a backflip to get up here. Maybe wondering why would we want to use a backflip all the way, like in the first stage at the very beginning. Well, that's actually to skip 3 dialogue, and then we go into a cutscene skip, which we'll elaborate more on in the Green Star mission, I believe.
Yeah, this first star
But right
has
now-
like a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now, we're just trying to keep up with the Luma because we are using it to make it easier to get up to the launch star that it will eventually spawn.
I think you
Some
can.
speedrun strats.
I think you can actually get up there like without needing the Hungry Luma. It's just like faster.
Gotcha. Here we use the crystal's weird geometry to get a little bit of air and then get onto the next planet.
In fact, that was one of the first ever discoveries where a crystal saved an A-press. And it took like 2 years for crystals to be actually useful besides that one.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be using crystals a lot.
Yeah, speaking of tech, we're going to use it a lot. Spinning in the air, or as we call them, air spins, fitting name, that is probably the most convenient tech that we have. Just being able to get a little bit of height
That's
wherever
like the
you can
generic method to
fall
get
off.
up ledges. And
Like
stuff.
dive rollouts in the Super Mario 64 A-Button challenge.
Yeah, you just kind of
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's also damage boosts, which are pretty easy. Essentially, as long as you're in the air while you get hit, you will like get knocked forward or knocked backwards instead of just moving on the XZ plane. You're going to be getting a little bit of height too, so it's pretty convenient.
Also, we should probably explain the 3 counters at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Not much goes on in the Pee-wee Piranha boss fight, so I think this would be a good time. So gameplay presses are just, jumping, wall jumps, things that you would traditionally think of when you think of the A-Button challenge. Things you're not supposed to do. Then there's menuing, which is starting dialogue, advancing dialogue, saving the game, hitting yes or no on dialogue box. Things that aren't like traditional gameplay presses. And then the total is just gameplay and menuing added together.
Gotta love this star grab.
Oh, who wants to explain this one?
We'll explain it later.
Okay. Just keep in mind that's called crystal floating or crystal levitation.
Or Floatma if you're cool.
Yeah, floatma is the preferred name.
Or reverse gravity floating if you're going to be all technical about it.
Ooh.
That's spicy.
By the way, the reason why we separate gameplay A-presses and menuing A-presses is because menuing A-presses are boring, and gameplay A-presses are the ones we care about saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, we still want to know the total of menus.
Also, there
Yeah.
are some scenarios where you do save menuing, and it's pretty cool. But usually it's like, just every star is just 4 presses, because you gotta enter it.
Yeah, enter, select the star, save the game, and press the you got a star.
What is it in Galaxy 1? In Galaxy 1, isn't it 5 8 presses per star?
I think it's 6. You got
Oh
the
my.
pull star. The pull star, select galaxy, confirm galaxy, star select, and then at
right.
the end you got a star and save.
No, it's would you
Okay.
like to save, and then the game is
Would you like to
so it's
save?
Yeah,
7.
it's
Yeah.
6 8 presses. Dang.
Yeah, so you just don't save,
Yeah.
and then it's
Yeah.
6.
It's
A
pretty
lot
boring,
actually
so I
went
don't
into
really
that
care
right
about
there.
it. I think the full counts are... What are the full counts again in terms of gameplay? It's like about 150 for each brother in SMG1, and for gameplay
That's
A-presses.
Yeah.
Another sick
There's a
dialogue
lot.
skip there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should explain the dialogue skip during that one, but
Yeah.
we'll do it in the
Well,
good stuff one.
yeah. We'll come to them later.
Gotcha.
Just got it. We should just explain the general stuff.
Gotcha. Alright. Oh, another thing about menuing, we try to avoid collecting coins and star bits by the end of the stage, because that would take another A press. So we just try to avoid coins, but if they're necessary, we'll just die before we end the stage, because that is the best way to get rid of them. And also the only way to get rid of them
Yeah.
without using A presses, I think.
Yeah. Starbits,
Right, you
you
can't
just
just
shoot
talk
them
to
all
Luna.
out. Coins, you have to die. Except for some scenarios where you can't die like before collecting the star. So you have to do some shenanigans.
Also, Hungry Lumas can get rid of coins in this game.
Yeah,
Although,
but of course you have to talk to them.
Yeah.
But if that's already necessary, like every planet has its price, then go ahead and try to collect exactly 100 coins. See, like
I really
right
like
there,
that.
we just got the star bits. Yeah.
Yeah, first two. So, also, I'm trying to remember. Let me pull up the spreadsheet. If I recall correctly, so we kind of all, like all three of us that passed, we kind of all did some stars for Sky Station and then also Yoshi's Star. Like it was kind of a big mix of people doing different stars. And then I think Purple did most of Flip Swap. Moosh did most of Fluffy Bluff and Spin Dig. I did Right Side Down and Fiery Flotilla.
And thank
I
goodness
was
for that.
there.
Yeah.
You were telling us
What-
like half the strats when we didn't know what the strats were.
That is true. Alright, and we've just gotten the second star of this game.
Yeah. So we could we should probably explain the dialogue skip because wait, no, this one doesn't have it. This one has the crystal float.
Yeah, I think it might be worth just explaining the Mario and Luigi. Not necessarily differences, but the fact that Luigi adds an extra dialogue or menuing A press per galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it every time you beat the stage as Luigi, or only the first time you clear a stage as Luigi, where a ghost gets unlocked?
I think it's only the first.
The first.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. This is a cool stage, but
I
I'll try
love
not to
this
talk over it.
movement. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Bouncing off enemies is another way to get nice height, and that's just a weird way that we turn around to grab the ledge. But anyway,
It also
Luigi...
gives you some more height.
Yeah. Luigi accelerates faster than Mario. He also has slightly higher air spins. Oh,
No,
actually,
no.
this is a little weird. Does not have higher air spins.
Yeah, it's mostly
Now
the
I'm
fact
trying
that he accelerates and like moves faster, basically.
Yeah. Has better backward speed.
What's the hierarchy of air spins again? It's is it Mario?
Mario Wiimote at the top.
Yeah.
And then I think Luigi Nunchuck, and then Mario Nunchuck and Luigi Wiimote. I think.
It might be, but
I
it's
think.
very minor. But typically, we want to maximize our air spins just to get more height.
Technically, it's 8 possibilities if you count holding or not holding down A
Yeah.
over how high an air
Yeah.
spin actually is.
Oh, that is another fun thing. But we do have half A presses. If you hold down the A button after selecting the star, there's a few things you can do holding A, like getting more height from your air spins. I know that's really weird.
Mhm. Yeah, so the crystal float. How
do we explain this?
You can explain it, yeah.
We're not completely certain on how it works, but we do know there's an NPC sphere inside a crystal and other objects that has a push function, which tries to push you off so you're not landing somewhere you're not meant to. And it also messes about with your reading of gravity. And so if you can move backwards on a crystal, then for some reason, whether it's like a second interaction with the sphere or not, I don't know, it reads it as a reversal of the axis or reversal of the gravity. And so you end up falling upwards. And so
Definitely
you just float in the sky.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's definitely one of the cooler and more obscure tricks in this run.
Yeah. It's very helpful because... So, like, two things. One is that I believe, and just in order to generally do it, like, just generally on any crystal, you also
And that's Green Star 1.
Run. Let's go.
Yeah.
In order to just generally do it, you need both Luigi and half an A press to just get on the... Like, to just get on the crystal.
Mm.
You could do it in other circumstances as either Mario or 0x, but just from the ground it takes 0.5x Luigi. And it's mostly useful on like boss fights and stuff, because they're usually really round planets that you can't really get any height off of, but they have crystals on them for like coins and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where they're like most useful. And third thing, if you're on a spherical planet, crystal float is the crystal float isn't like pretty limited. It doesn't give you that much height, so you have to kind of really stretch to get to the star. If you're on like an area with flat gravity, like we're gonna see in Flip Swap, it can be pretty insane. So that's always a great thing to look for.
Yeah.
So do we want to here in Sky Station, just quickly, with the slope that was found by Nim, I believe. It's like to do with wherever the camera is, you can somehow run further up a slope. So if you bring the camera all the way back by running all the way down, you can just run up the slope instead of slipping down it.
I still don't know why that works. That seems like such a dumb thing. Dumb mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, camera's weird in this game.
Yeah.
As we'll see in Fluffy Bluff Green Star 1, which you get a little bit more height if you're perpendicular to the camera.
Alright, here. Last opportunity, I think, to explain cutscene skip, so we should probably do it.
Yeah. I'll let one of y'all handle it.
Purple, do it, because I don't understand it.
Well, there are... NPCs have message areas in which you can talk to them. And there are two different types of triggers. There's the proximity trigger and an A-prompt trigger. In Green Star 2 and Sky Station 1, you see a proximity trigger where you have to land on the very edge of the circle, or the area, and get immediately pushed out of it. And then you have a few frames to press A. And then you can somehow skip dialogue. And then the other trigger, which we'll see here, is the A-prompt one, where you can land within the area wherever, as long as you get pushed out without holding any joystick input. And for that, you have to press A on a particular frame. I believe it's just before you leave the area. And the theory is that because you've set up the cutscene, either by pressing A or being within the area, and then you are outside of the area when you're pressing A, the game registers it as the A press is on the final text box. So you're closing the dialogue, which then triggers the Lumas to turn into launch stars.
I love the movement for this star.
Yeah, we should probably explain why you're turning around and going backwards.
Yeah.
So, in Mario Galaxy, you just accelerate faster when you're going backwards, or I want to say sideways too, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But essentially, if you just turn around before you initiate an air spin, you can maximize your distance a little bit better. And that's necessary for Mario in the start.
Momentum is like really weird sometimes in this game.
Yeah.
I actually see that most often when people are using the infinite flutter, because they'll always face backwards.
Right.
Yeah, it's
if
like
they want to cover a lot of distance real quick.
It's like to the side and backwards. But like forward is generally like really... Forward is like the worst direction to go in terms of accelerating.
Alright, who's going to explain the bone pit? So this is bone pit.
Annoying.
So,
and now we are exiting the bone pit.
You want to do an annoying, yeah?
Alright,
Because
so
hard landing, soft landing, and all that.
So, whenever you're on the ground, you're in one of two states, a soft landing or a hard landing. A hard landing is when you're landing from exiting a pipe, exiting a launch star, some cutscenes, and vines for some reason. It's essentially whenever you land from a cutscene, but it's not every cutscene, so it's really stupid and jank. When you're in a soft landing, that's when you land from like jumps or dying. So hard landings have a weird property where whenever you spin against a wall, you have no control over where you'll go. You'll just fly in a direction. Like, you'll fly in the opposite direction of the wall. Whereas if you're in a soft landing, you can manipulate yourself to spin against a wall and hold up and land on a higher ledge, because you get a bit of height from spin knockbacks. However, since we land in the bone pit in a hard landing, we couldn't get out of the bone pit unless we get into a soft landing. So we have to duck into a corner of the bone pit, and for some reason, warping out of that corner puts us in a soft landing.
Yeah. Two things I just want to add to that. You can also enter a soft landing by just pressing A, but obviously we try to not do that in this run.
Yeah, you could get soft landing by jumping just from landing from basically anything else. Like if you spin and then you land from the spin, like an air spin, that gets you in soft landing.
Yeah, and the second thing is just what a triple bounce is. So off of like certain enemies, objects, or just stuff Mario can interact with, you can get a bounce off them. And if that doesn't destroy it, you can also get a double and a triple bounce. And a triple bounce is just a nice way to get a bunch of height from a single object.
First intentional death, let's go.
Yes.
That was intentional? I thought you were just bad at the game.
It was intentional. I think
we're great at this game.
Oh, right. So that one is,
very weird.
If I recall correctly, it's just to get more health and also to get off of Yoshi.
Yep.
Because if you
Yoshi's spin height is very nerfed compared to Mario and Luigi's, so we try not to be on him unless we have to do the stage with half an A press anyway, because then he's broken and he can flutter around everywhere.
You can't infinite flutter because you need to like press A a lot to infinite flutter, but
of course,
the fact that you can just flutter up the full height is just on its own pretty broken for ABC.
I want to say most Yoshi-centric stages are every star is half an A press, or less than that, because of Yoshi.
I'm trying to think of any stages which feature Yoshi and which aren't.
Well,
Galaxy Generator
now.
Yeah, well, like, that one you get Yoshi really late. And you would, like, have to get off of Yoshi. There.
I think Tool Trunk was the last one to have an A press before it was saved. So I'm pretty sure that's all 0 now, or at least 0.5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yoshi pretty cheeses things. But for Yoshi Star, there's only 2 of the stars need the fluttering. The other ones aren't. Also, what's this? Oh, right, I wanted to show off the Starbit and Life Collection. So, because you can't collect any Starbits by the time you exit a galaxy, and also you can't really collect 1-ups in a galaxy, because the first time you collect a 1-up, that's a text box being like, hey, you got a 1-up that gives Mario lives. So you want to, generally speaking, avoid Starbits and 1-ups. So the actual way to get Starbits and 1-ups, at least in Galaxy 2, is to use the Starship, because it has a bunch of Starbits, and at the top, if you eat all the fruits, you get a 1-up.
And 16, you can do 16 Starbits with this route. I think you could get even more if you add as player 2, okay, we might want to clarify what player 2 does in this game.
Oh yeah, we haven't even
basically,
mentioned what player 2's doing.
Yeah, we turn on player 2 at the very beginning of this run. And is it 2 menuing A presses or just 1?
It's just the one. Well,
Okay.
We ended up counting player 2 as a gameplay, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, to like turn them on the Wiimote?
Yeah.
Right, because this is from a completed file. So basically, we turn on player 2's Wii remote, and we never let go of holding A on that remote. And that allows
player
us
2,
to...
This entire TAS holds down A for an hour and 45 minutes.
What a trooper. But basically, we use that to stun enemies, hold coins that might be in our way, but we can only do that one time if we don't die during that stage. And just a lot of helpful things. We'll point them out as we go along. Not sure why player 2 holds that down. I might have just been
was just
pointing at
because when you were tassing it, you had player 1 and player 2. I had to add in player 2 after the fact, and you just had player 1. You just
Yeah,
had
I
your
see what
cursor
happens.
there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So here's Yoshi fluttering. As you can see, it's quite helpful.
Yeah, you could just kind of do everything. No Yoshi Star 2 skip 0x or 0.5x SMG.
I'm pretty sure there's only one part of this stage that requires Yoshi's fluttering.
Yeah, and it's very annoying. Well, we're getting ready to come across it.
Yeah, also the fact, this is just an implementation detail that I found funny. So, this was sort of like the first big task to feature like hexing, where like a bunch of people did a bunch of stars individually, and then I, after the fact, like combined them all into one task. And it was like the first big like Super Mario Galaxy project to do it. So it was kind of a test for how it went. And one thing that was far more annoying than I thought it was going to be was the fact that the signs that spawn when there's player 2, like saying player 2, do this thing, when there's not usually a sign there. It like desynced a lot of runs because the TASs would run into where the sign was with just player 1, and they would just go through it, and then in player 2 there would be a sign there, and so I'd have to like redo the star because of that.
Yeah. Also,
things that happened during Billy's little talk there was P2 grabbed a coin so that because the launch star will send you into the coin that was back on the second planet, and also the third planet. That's where you require Yoshi's flutter.
Yeah.
I think it's only at one part, right? It's to get from the spiny to the glass thing, or is it more than that?
I thought we found that you can kind of get Mario to like the second level of that rock planet, but to do the finale, you need the half-A press. Like to get up with Luigi and to break the cage with the launch star.
Yeah, you can almost get Yoshi up there with a weird damage boost off of a spiny, but I don't think it ended up working to get Yoshi all the way to the top without a flutter.
There's also this idea that you shoot the spiny from another planet and just snipe the glass thing, but the spinies break after so long being in the air.
Also, gotta love this star collect where we gotta wait for the egg to respawn.
That is one of my favourite star grabs of this whole run.
It is a good one.
So simple, so good though.
Does it technically count as
especially
jumping
Yoshi
off of Yoshi to get extra height?
Sorry, what did you say, Noi?
It's technically jumping off Yoshi to get extra height, except we're not sending him into a pit, and he's still just alive. He's just hanging out.
That's true.
Finally, we don't kill Yoshi. How many times? I mean, we already killed Yoshi at least once during the Yoshi Star 1. So.
Well, it's more of a
I don't know if
together.
Solidarity. But I was going to say, did we explain why we open Yoshi and then don't immediately grab him in Yoshi Star 1?
Oh yeah, that's weird. It's
I think
you explain it.
We're still
Okay,
professional guys.
so essentially... Nope, okay, we're good. Alright, so we just grabbed the invincibility star, and now we're gonna go on a roll.
You might want
This
to
one really
re-explain
could be
that,
bad.
because I probably am going to just cut that part out. So re-explain why we need to... In Yoshi Star 1, why we broke the Yoshi and then didn't do anything with it.
Gotcha. First, one thing I just want to say, air spinning with as Invincible Mario is a little weird, but Billy was able to TAS it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
First star I tasked for ABC.
Let's go. Anyway, Yoshi Star 1, we threw Yoshi from Kamek, but then we cannot get to the orange fruit while riding Yoshi without a half an A press, but obviously we want to try to get it to 0 A presses if possible. So what we do is we free Yoshi, and we open up the shell, and then we just leave him be. Eventually he'll despawn and respawn both in the center of this planet and near the orange fruit up there. So we just get to the second Yoshi in the stage, and use that to open the fruit,
Yeah.
which spawns the launch star, which is required to
I
each
always
stage.
found that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, now to the green stars at this stage. All of them are like
Oh,
weird in their own way.
I
so
love Green
very
Star
cool
1.
greens.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Billy,
Yeah.
I love Green Star 3
did
because
you tap this one?
only use of
Um,
delayed Yoshi Flutter.
I think Purple tasked this one originally, and then I had to retask it because of the player sign desync.
Oh, that's fun. Well, we'll point it out because it should just be right here.
Yeah. Like, this
Yeah.
one desynced Yoshi Star 3 to Green Star 3, so I had to redo 4 tasks.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
But here-
this sign right here.
Yep.
Every other task just walks through it. And if you look carefully, you could have seen there that, I think it did it there. Right when Mario walked around that sign, player 2 spun, which had no effect, but that's just because, like, the nunchuck orientation Purple have when they're tassing, and the orientation I have while I'm tassing are different, so that when I started tassing it from there, it then just spun player 2.
Yeah.
And that happens
two
a lot.
small
Usually
holes.
when player 2 spins, that's
Oh.
the actual reason why. So we have this star, which is cool.
Yeah, flip bug racing. You can shoot flip bugs with starbins.
Flip bug
And,
racing is
they don't
actually
die.
super overpowered. This is the only... Also, I love how you don't end up killing it. You just kind of knock it off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you don't kill your best friends.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, flip bug racing is, like, super overpowered, because you can basically... The fact that you can basically... You could bounce on the flip bug multiple times if you, like, are careful about it, and you can make the enemy get arbitrary height, makes, like, flip bugs, like, the most overpowered enemy in the game for ABC, basically. It's pretty great.
Fortunately, they appear like
We-
twice and that's it.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks. They don't
Yeah.
appear that often.
I think they appear more. Do they appear more in Galaxy 1? I know we definitely do it a lot in Honey
I
Hive.
think in Galaxy 1, isn't it just Honey Hive and Gold Leaf?
It might be.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
put
yeah,
a
they're
flip bug
very
there
cool
and
when
then
they do
used
show up.
it for Green Star 1. I still don't
So-
know how that gets you out of soft landing there. It's really weird.
Yeah. I just chalk it up to jank geometry. Now, do
Yup.
we free Yoshi this time, or should I try explaining this again? Okay, so basically what we're doing here is we're trying to stay out of the Kamek's activation radius,
Yeah.
and that just saves time.
I'm not actually sure in this instance it did save time, because that was me
Oh,
just
'cause you go
branching
so
off
wide.
of Green Star 1 where it definitely saves time, but going all the way around as opposed to just walking over here, I'm not sure if it saves time.
Yeah. There's a neat
Might
usage
have
rule bounce,
been-
by the way.
Might have been able to go the right side. I don't know.
Yeah, you
Because
might
I
have
know the
also been
trigger's
able to go to
even
the right-
bigger.
Oh, this
there.
is a really weird triple bounce. It's like really
Oddly precise.
Hmm.
Now my stream buffered, so
I guess we
couldn't
should explain
actually
what-
see it, but
Don't worry, it
I
happens.
really enjoy it.
have we explained what spin knockback actually is? I believe Annoying said it a little bit earlier.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, I'll just do like
There's
a brief
lot of different
explanation.
variations of it. I could explain those. We're about to reach the most boring galaxy.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Well, not
Yoshi
the
Star
most
1
boring
for a
galaxy,
while.
but the most repetitive one.
Now, the most repetitive is right side down. We have a bit before we get there.
That's fair.
So go ahead and explain some of the spin knockbacks.
Alright, so there's basic spin knockback where you just go up to a wall and just bash your head into it, and then you get a little bit of height. It's very commonly used, but there's a lot of overpowered versions of it. Specifically, there's what I call DTSK, which is a terrible name for it. It stands for Double Turnaround Spin Knockback, which is essentially if you're facing away from the wall and you use spin knockback and you crouch, you can spin against the wall, get a bit of height, and then spin against the same wall again and get even more height. There's also a spin cancel, which is a perfect way to get onto pretty much any enemy, because when you spin, you obviously spin enemies away, but a spin cancel is essentially you hug a wall that you can like sidle against it, and then you hit the Z button, and when you spin... So, yeah, spin cancel is when you sidle against a wall, and then you hold down the Z button, and when you do that, you'll still activate a spin knockback, but you won't spin enemies away, so it's a perfect way to bounce off of an enemy. It's not used very often, but it's often enough that it's quite useful.
I think it's also used in right side down to get on like that one Goomba.
Yeah.
Also, I hate that you were like... I hate that we already missed it, but... So in this entire stage, it's literally identical to the first star, except we get to hold down A during it, because we need A for getting the green star. And it had it brought up like a really weird complication, which is that... So generally in this game, basically all the time holding A just makes you go higher. Just normal jumping, spinning... Just holding A just always makes you higher, basically. But with one weird case, when you are Mario, it's only as Mario, and you're triple bouncing off of an enemy. Also, yeah, there we don't need to die because we can hold A. For some reason, when you're as Mario, if you're holding down A and you do a triple bounce on enemies, for some reason you actually go lower if you hold down A, as opposed to if you don't hold A. Don't know why.
Very weird.
Why did they make
Didn't even know that until, it's pretty minor too, and I don't think we knew it like for certain until Billy started using RAM Watch.
Yeah. I think like some people were vaguely aware of it, but like a while ago someone was like, Cheese was like, hey, can we get like a catalog of how high everything in the game goes? And I was looking into it.
Best star grab ever.
Yeah, I did look into the triple bounce thing. I thought it was true for both characters. I didn't realize that it was only for Mario.
Yeah. As Luigi, it is higher. And I think like a lot higher. Whereas for Mario, it's like barely lower.
Right. I was just going to ask Annoying if you want to explain what a delayed flutter is, because I really don't know.
Oh yeah, for that star grab.
Right.
We keep explaining things like
star grab.
the star after they happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to interrupt anyway.
I guess.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's star grab. So, essentially, the only way to get it as Yoshi without jumping off of Yoshi, or infinite fluttering, is if you manage to both shake and flutter. However, if you're holding down A, as soon as you enter the air with Yoshi, you'll instantly start fluttering unless you shake on the ground and then become airborne, in which case Yoshi will wait a little bit to start fluttering. So you can shake, use the flower grapples, I think that's what they're called. And after that, you go into the air, you use the second one, you spin, and then you flutter, and that's barely enough height to grab the green star. And it is my favorite star grab because I found it and I'm so happy about it.
It is very
cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, small thing. Doing these RTA where you're running along the side of a block, and then you change your angle very slightly to fall off, and then you air spin, and then you grab onto a block that's in the same direction but a little bit higher. Very, very hard for me at least to do RTA, but TAS made it free because you get to pick your angle.
There's a couple stars in here which I definitely are not RTA viable. But yeah, we're on flip flop, which is kind of repetitive, but it does have another weird mechanic, which is going to be shown here, where you just kind of go to the star, I guess.
This is
nothing to explain there.
You used an upward cheat.
Oh, yep.
Oh, to levitate. Let's go.
Yeah. Do we have a name for that? Like, when
that's
you use
displacement.
the rotating platform to upward.
It's known as displacement. So there's like flip panel displacement, there's Toxbox displacement as well.
Yeah.
So we had excuse me, we had established that you can store momentum off of a slope, and then when you grab and then let go of a wall, the momentum activates. And this is sort of the same, where you sort of have like a telekinetic link with the slope that you fall off, and with moving slopes, if you grab a wall while that slope is moving, then you get displaced along with it. And so in this case, because we slide off of a flip panel as it's coming up, we spin before grabbing a wall to activate the panel again. And then when we grab the wall, because the panel is going up, it sends Mario up, so you can then fling back into the star.
Yeah, this is like, I love the movement in the star. This is the star that, like, when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, SMG ABC is actually kind of cool. This star is a bunch of really jank movement like that.
All of it is essentially sliding around because of the moving, because of the moving panels, and just being able to get some good distance off of it.
You can do it without the jank slope stuff. However, if you do it that way, you need to grab a coin because you're going to be using damage boost with lasers.
Yeah.
And I think you use a total of 3, meaning you need to grab a coin.
I think we had to actually do a lot of this stage because, like, the hexing didn't work, and, like, it was so really weird. This stage was so difficult to get working for basically every stage.
Yeah.
Also, I love the timing where you avoid pretty much every single chain shot there.
I did love this, the fact that it desynced and I got to do that in the redo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Going under the chomp, getting the panel coming up, and then it's so the strange thing about this displacement is that when I first tried it and doing it the same way as the first star, the displacement I got went to the left and was ridiculously high. But that meant that I couldn't get the star because I'm just been flung halfway down the stage.
Of it sort of, I thought, I don't know, I looked into it for a while and it was like really weird. I think it's because if you went to the left and got really high, I think what it might have been is that you accidentally got the displacement from a previous flip thing, and so you rotated around that. Also, there to show off. Previously, when I was doing the star bit grinding, I didn't know if you use player 2 to spin the Lumas, you just get star bits from that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we can get actually a lot more star bits per rotation, which is good. Because I wonder if we can unlock.
Nice total count.
Sorry.
It's gone now.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we can unlock flip flop when we come across it with that, like from grinding. Is it 200?
Yeah,
400?
maybe.
It's 400.
Yeah.
I did just
want to
add
very curious to see someone make like a really optimized version of the star bit 1-up grinding to
maybe
to see exact how long would it actually take to get all the star bits. Also, this is a pretty cool green star. You need to get the Goomba over there and then just kind of get up.
Yes. Goomba Manip. We'll see more of that later.
God.
But I did just want to add...
have, like... So we're doing this commentary like 3 months later. Classic on-time commentary. I still have like flashbacks to some of the Goomba Manip I had to do in like right side mouse.
I'm so sorry. I just want to, since we're still flip swap. Oh, were you gonna say something, Purple?
Well, I did just want to add, with that weird displacement thing in the purple coin comet, the way that we fixed the ridiculously high displacement was just by sliding off the final panel and ledge grabbing it. So that's why that happens. It's not just a really sloppy movement, it's intentional because somehow it resets the displacement. So then you can set it up the same as the first star.
Green Star 2, which features the really insane crystal float. That really does just kind of look like cheating, but I assure that it is in the game.
It is a glitch though, so some people might consider it cheating.
Yeah, this is not a glitchless run.
As it should not be a glitchless
I love that.
I feel like
I love that
minimize
slide up.
Oh yeah.
Also, this is a star that I accidentally
that was awesome.
got. I accidentally got an up warp while tassing. I'm like, let's go. Yeah, it was weird.
Oh yeah, right there. Nice.
Classic. That literally saved no time. Probably was slower.
That's actually a good segue into what I was gonna say. Yeah, I just want to go into like the history of the upward, displacement real quick. So I want to say some guy named Lancer Deltarune.
One sec. Here's the big crystal float.
Pretty sick.
And then slowly.
After a while, it like cuts off your momentum, but you can still get into the star bit. All right, Moosh, continue explaining.
Okay, but first a question: do you have to like hold any direction while you're crystal floating, like to hold the direction you want to go in, or how's that?
That's an interesting thing with this, is that holding straight backwards, like straight opposite to your facing angle, will kill off the float much quicker than if you hold. It's sort of like a sideways backwards thing. If you're a speedrunner and you do a lot of infinite flutters, you'll know that kind of angle. It's basically that kind of angle that keeps it going longer and longer and longer. It's really strange.
It's menuing total.
Let's go. What I was going to say, we found the displacement through an old Twitch clip from, I guess, a speedrunner just like messing around in the stage. But eventually, our friend Cheese Salad / Salad Bowl was able to recreate it RTA. So good for him. And then, of course, we were able to TAS it and put it into this this project.
So let's go. Spindig 1, longest star in the TAS. Also,
that is like, really interesting.
I think it potentially has the most because of all the dialogue in it. Or not the most. I think one of the green stars has to go through all the menuing again. But I don't know. Yeah.
I think this is one of my earlier tasks.
You have A pluses.
Yuck. So it might be a little sloppier than the other ones. Oh, also, you'll notice that player 2 is holding a coin. That was just from where we had to drill on the underside of the first planet. The coin was blocking our way, so we have to pick it up. But I think for it doesn't actually matter too much in this stage, but it matters for the Green Star 1. Or maybe,
there's some.
I think it's one answer. Yeah. Also, you notice that we kind of went above the Luma, and then we're able to land on top of them. I'm not really sure why that happened.
Yeah,
is it just like the Luma's big? Like I said, Pac, I mean.
If you like drill the Luma, you like can change your angle for some reason. I don't know why they made that feature.
Oh yeah, you change like 90 degrees exactly, so that's pretty handy.
Also, sort of funny thing, we were holding this coin the whole time, but it turns out we gotta get
a tragedy happens.
So yeah, even if you get all the way over here, you avoid all the coins, you gotta pick like all of them. So we do it.
Yeah.
Tactically, efficiently take damage from these Goombas.
as you'll see why.
We
Because
do it
you
on the
want to
boss
grab
planet, right?
point. Yeah.
Oh, right. So we had to pick up star bits and then do the Toad dialogue skip thing.
Yeah,
We
basically
forgot
if you,
to do the first time through, and then we had to add it back in.
Yeah. So actually a lot of stuff, a lot of small things all came together for the few seconds that just happened.
Well, it's
So
a few
basically, if you
seconds,
tell-
and it's the A presses because you have all the dialogue talking to Toad.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, you pellet with starbits, you don't have to talk to him. You grab the checkpoint so you can respawn a lot closer, right before the boss. After you lose your coins. After you die, lose your coins, I mean. And Billy, do you want to go more in detail about what we did with sub-holes on this boss fight?
Oh, yeah. Just I want to point
Or
out,
do you wanna do that for the
apparently this
other one?
boss fight is like actually pretty hard to do without jumping and also without picking up any of the coins from all of like the drill dudes. It's like kind of, it's harder than you think it might be. I think it's also like the only boss fight in this World 1 task that actually becomes significantly harder when reducing the A button. Like all the other boss fights are like the exact same.
Yeah.
I think the only hard boss that gets more challenging with reducing the A button is the Womp King.
Oh yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
Womp
that
King
guy is
becomes
terrible.
insane when reducing the A button.
Oh, and Bowser Jr.'s Boom Bunker. That one's
Oh yeah, that one too.
Just
There
gotta
are
say
some
that
ones that become
everything
harder,
there.
but this one is like, in World 1 they're all pretty straightforward. So yeah, about the sub-holes, you might notice, why are we just standing here for a couple seconds? I guess not a couple. What happens is in this game, instead of like N64 or like NES games, where basically like every frame or like it's like a fixed interval for per frame, how many like times the joysticks get, how many times the controller gets pulled. For some reason, at least in this game in Dolphin, the amount of time that the inputs from the Wiimote gets pulled per frame is like really irregular. It like changes a lot, which makes hexing and copying in the input files really difficult. So basically,
It made it
the
impossible
reason
for a good while.
Yeah. The reason that we had to wait a while there is because we originally did the stage without doing the Toad dialogue skip. And then later on, because of like a tweet by Purple, I think, we remembered that, oh, we can do that to like save A presses. So Moosh added that bit back in. We needed to wait at the end there so that the whole stage took the same amount of time. So that the
Like down to the
sub-holes
frame.
for the rest of the tasks would stay the same. So that's
And it
what's
works
going on.
Otherwise,
quite
that
well.
damage boost is quite precise.
Yeah, also this pipe,
try to
getting into this pipe is very odd. And also getting up the slope. Getting up that slope at the start, isn't that like an only Luigi thing?
Yes. Currently it is.
Yeah, that's very odd.
that,
As far
that
as I
might
knew,
be a
that's
place
the
where
only
that
reason we use Luigi here.
Sorry, what did you
No.
say, Purple?
that might be a place where the camera slope stuff could be useful, but I haven't looked too much into it. I don't
The
know
camera
anyone who
probably
has.
Yeah. Also earlier showed a rare example of us collecting a coin, not because we have to collect a coin, but because we would die from not having enough health because of all the damage we used to do. And
Yeah.
so you die on this planet, if I recall correctly. Get rid of it.
Yeah, you just ground pound here and get hit by one of these yellow drill guys.
Yeah.
Not saying its official name.
What are their
Anyway.
Does anyone know their official name?
Pretty
Drill
sure it's
guy.
Giga.
Yep, that's his name.
Oh, for Mega Man.
Yes. Oh, this is really cool for no reason.
Yeah.
Just a lot of backwards momentum
Hey, it was
to do a
fast.
double down.
We like kinda cared about making the task fast. It was very dependent on the star, how much we cared about making it fast.
Yeah. I think some of our earlier tasks are probably more optimized. maybe like towards the middle, where like we're comfortable doing it, but also we the end is not in sight yet.
Yeah.
Those might be the most optimized because we didn't do these in order really.
Some of the purple, I think, like flip swap, I think generally is pretty good. I really went to town optimizing right side down because I had to basically do the same star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was dependent on the star. Also, another neat star grab, we gotta bounce on the dude. Oh no, you don't. You just can drill, and then for some reason when you spin with
Just
the
bounce
drill,
on
your
the dude for
hitbox is just a mile up, so then you can just touch the star with it.
I was going to mention how weird 2D sections work in this game, but it might just be better to hold on to it until upside down. I mean right side down,
So
because that
at
is
this
mostly
point,
2D.
at this point, every single gameplay A press we've used has been to save menuing A presses because we get a net gain.
Yeah.
But technically, you could be at 0 gameplay A presses right now until this star.
Well, this is the comet, so it's not this one. It's the next one.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it's the next one.
But yeah.
Sorry.
So this task does 12 gameplay A presses. Well, one of them is holding down player 2. So I guess during the task there's 11 gameplay A presses. But if you wanted to just maximize the gameplay, minimize the gameplay A presses, there are only 4 of them, and those are sort of that's what people care about. Like they're the 4 A presses that we have to do sort of in World 1, which is actually really low. Most of the other worlds are like double digits.
Yeah.
Love Luigi just vibing down there.
I know. Why
Shout
do they
out
even
to
put a
all the
Luigi in
ghosts.
this stuff? What even is the point?
Like I put one in every stage.
They're not in every stage. Sure.
It's like 3D World.
I think they're in most comments. But yeah. I do just love how pointless they are. And I think they do a similar thing in Fiery Flotilla comment where they just gotta chill the whole time and don't do anything.
Yeah, very small thing I want to point out. Oh, sorry, you first.
Yeah, killing the enemies in this stage doesn't matter because they don't give coins, since it's a Daredevil comet anyway.
Yeah, so this one's
Yeah.
just free.
Yeah. But on the topic of Luigi Ghost, you'll see that we don't wait here because we don't need to try to match subholes. But anyway, I found out that if you go into Cosmic Cove Galaxy, the Ghost Luigi will stay underwater, like that's where he ends up, and he does not do the drowning animation despite being underwater for enough time. I just think that's neat.
So apparently when
Shout
you're
out
a Ghost
to that being
Luigi,
a raw.
you can't drown.
I guess it makes
He's
sense.
already dead.
Really breathing, yeah.
That's fair.
He's gonna become a
Why isn't he Blue Luigi?
Double Ghost.
So this is the first star. This is
That
the
requires
first star.
gameplay press. Yeah.
This is the first tragic star.
Yeah.
Green Star 1, more like gameplay 1.
Ooh,
And
that would
menu
be
like
GG
3.
one.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Well,
it's
gameplay.
annoying because you have more
No.
dialogue, which is cringe.
So A presses on top of A presses.
This stage is like the worst in dialogue because basically every single star you have to like talk to a Luma. Be like da 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 da.
Sadly, we've not found
We're
a
getting to A press
dialogue
100
for this.
We're gonna get A press 100 soon.
Oh, that's gonna be sick.
I think
Is
game press.
is A press 100 the gameplay A press?
I believe it is actually.
Yeah.
First gameplay A press. That's like required gameplay is A press 100.
Yeah. Well, very minor skip there. That was just discovered by speedrunners. You can just get to a certain part there and spin into it.
So this A press, it's like extremely close to being savable. There's like, if you homing ground pound off of the drill, I believe, you can almost get it, but nah, you just gotta back side flip up and then drill.
Yeah.
If you could somehow get up to the top Luma and get rid of the drill, you could save it. If you could somehow get a little more height bouncing off the drill, you could save it.
Yeah.
There's so many possible
That's like
ways
the
to
most
save it.
likely of the 4 remaining ones. That's like the most likely to save because it's just like you're just so close, and there's a lot of different ways to approach it.
Mm-hmm. I think we're approaching Minuing 100, which I don't know if we'll get it in this armor.
Yeah, in terms of A presses, we're over halfway done now. I think we're not quite halfway done with the TAS because there's a lot more A presses in the.
Well, let me just check this. We are 55 minutes in. Oh, we're more than halfway done.
Oh, we are more than halfway. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We passed the halfway mark 3 minutes ago. Oh, by the way, grabbing the coin here is actually important.
Yeah.
Because we do not have a chance to die before grabbing Green Star 1 or 2.
Well, we have a chance to die before Green Star 2, right? Because we didn't have it in Green Star 1 because there's no checkpoint on this planet.
There's a checkpoint on the ring planet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So Green Star 1 it was actually required. And in Green Star 2 it's required to avoid the death.
I think Green Star 1 was the first time P2 was found to be helpful.
Yeah, it's like right in the way. All the dialogue.
Yep, there it is. Oh, we passed Mini 100. How sweet.
Let's go. We go around town. What's it again? Oh, right, we use the Goomba to get on top of the Luma, and then we triple bounce off the Luma.
Yeah. Also, spinning that Luma also just stops it in its path, so that's pretty handy. Because if it got to the middle and turned into a launch star, obviously we could not bounce off of that.
Well, wouldn't you need to be on the ground in order to for it to? Oh no, it wouldn't. There's no cutscene for it. It just does it.
Yeah, I want to say he does it automatically. I mean, as soon as he gets to the end.
Yeah. The whole "sorry I'm late." Yeah.
Pretty funny gag. Glad it's included.
This is the second required gameplay press.
Yeah, this one's like the least likely to be saved gameplay press. There's just like nothing. You're just kind of stuck in this area.
And a 2D area, no less.
Yeah. Yeah, 2D areas are dumb because there's such little you can do. Like with 3D areas, you can probably find a cliff to walk off and air
Plus,
spin.
it's just so high
in 2D areas.
Anyway. What are you even gonna do?
Who knows? But not a lot to say for this one, because it is the beginning part of Spin Dig 1 again. Is it Spin Dig 1 or Spin Dig 2?
Luma just enters the vine.
That is pretty nice. And we also have to grab a... Wait, do we grab a coin here?
Yes, we do have to grab a coin, or else we would run out of health getting rid of the drill. So it's also... I think this is the first star in the run with a required coin. We don't get it because this file has 9999 coins, so we don't get the notification like in this TAS.
That is another thing to add with the Mario and Luigi thing. Getting 9,999 coins also supposedly clears all of the ghosts. So if you somehow got 9,999 coins in the first level, you'd never need to worry about whether you're Mario or Luigi in terms of that text box ghost appeared.
Unfortunately, there's
a
no
lot of, like,
coins in Starship Mario, though.
There's a lot of, like, full, like, on the scheme of the entire game, 8 presses that you could save. But it's like the, would getting 999 coins be worth it? I don't think anyone's, like, looked into that.
No. If you could grind them like star bits, then yes,
as Mario
but no.
as possible.
Oh, by the way, quick thing about that last
so we,
star.
Don't have to play as Luigi.
What is it annoying?
So, the star grab is actually possible as Mario, But since we need Luigi to get up the slope, it's quicker to just backflip into the star since Luigi can reach it.
Yeah.
Right side down. So right side down 1 is like... I really love right side down 1. The only issue with it is that you have to do the exact same star basically 3 times, so it gets really repetitive. But on its own, right side down 1 is my favorite.
Yeah, and I don't think...
One thing
I
that's
agree,
weird
there's a
about
lot of cool stuff that goes into it.
all those
And I think it's
ledge
because
grabs,
it's just
like
I'm
as
sorry.
Mario, are like really precise to do 0x. Like you just barely get it
Oh,
height.
sick slide skip.
Yeah. Alright, so this Goomba is gonna be our best friend. Getting that Goomba up the slope with all those star bits is like so difficult to do. And then you have like this. Moving it
He's
around.
really going on a journey.
I do not. This is one of those stars where it's like I really don't think RTA can be able to pull this one off.
I'd say probably the worst thing about bringing Goombas along is if you hit it with a star bit straight into Mario, because it's dead then.
Yeah.
Also, you don't get to really... Well, in 3D sections, it's very weird which direction they end up going when you hit the star bit. I'm not sure if it's any better
In 2D section, it's also really dumb. Like one of the weirdest part about getting the Goomba up that one slope is that for some reason it's like so difficult to actually make them go towards the slope. Yeah. You bring the Goomba all the way through so you can get the fire.
Yeah.
And once you
Was
have
that an
the
example of
fire
a...
flower, the movement's pretty easy. Sick. Shoot the fireball through the wall so you can hit that box. Shoot the Goomba out of the way so that you don't kill it yet, and then you get it here.
Very
Just
cool.
so much
Also,
going
you
on.
get to spin like 3 times. Don't worry, we'll get to see it again 2 more times
We're
in
gonna
the
get
next
some
hour.
good more replays. Die to get rid of all the coins. Also, funny thing that really kind of worked out, so... From the way we did this task, we would have ended up game overing from running out of lives if I didn't do the 2 1-up grindings earlier from the star bits. So...
I found out that this secret area existed when I was trying to find different ways to save A-presses a long time ago.
Nice.
That-
And it's not
that's
unintentional. I think there's 4 1-up on each corner.
Yeah,
There's a lot of 1-ups in it.
it's 4 1-ups in the corners.
Gonna need that for all 1-ups SMG 2.
Oh no. I
When are
think
we
you
making
just
that
willed
task?
that into existence. 2025, mark my words.
Probably not wrong.
So,
Alright. Sorry, are you first?
yeah, so this is the secret star. This is another star where we have to collect a coin because basically up until the secret star, there's just no checkpoints at all. And we have what is probably a forced coin at the start. I think maybe with some good movement, you could potentially avoid it. Because you like get the Goombas down and then like do some triple bounces off them to get up there without using the flower, but it would be kind of a stretch.
Nice little Mario dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to come out with something to do during this waiting section. We do like 4 times.
Well, I think it looks pretty nice.
Reminds me of the people playing Mario Maker 2, whenever they just walk back and forth with Yoshi,
Yep.
just to pass the time.
Yeah. Also have to pass the time here because we have to wait till the fire flower runs out before we can get into the fight. They're just kind of goofing around, I guess.
I never realized there was like a Z Tetris piece on the back wall right there.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this star has a ton of dialogue. I think Was it this one or a different one? Where you like can do a cutscene skip, but it doesn't actually work? Was it this one or was it a different star?
It's the gear modes, the golden and silver ones for the Boulder Bowl and Space Storm letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Space Chunk. Not Space Chunk. I can't remember what it's called. But I know which one you're talking about.
Come here, Goomba, and come here, Top Man.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah. So it was
Space
kind of like
Storm.
you could do the cutscene skip, but apparently it's like triggered by something different, so it doesn't actually complete the objective. You just like avoid talking to them, and then you have to do it again to actually complete the objective.
So who wants to explain
now that
how
we're watching
2D
the same level
is
again,
handled?
anyone have something they want to talk about that's unrelated to this?
Yeah. It's just gonna be like 6 minutes of just the same thing. There's one thing I
Yeah.
want to point out that is related to the stage. So there's a lot of ledge grabs and stuff that, as Mario, are really difficult because you like just barely get enough height in order to make them. 0x. So I'm curious if this would be a star where I haven't looked into it, but I'm curious if Luigi could do this star 0x, or if they would need the half A press. And then this would be one of the few scenarios where Mario could do something, but Luigi couldn't. In like an ABC.
That would be interesting.
Like that, there's that one ledge
Yeah.
grab there, which I think Luigi could probably do because he moves faster. This one I think would probably be tough. Oh, I'm not sure he'd be able to make that one. Okay.
That would definitely be interesting. Stair skip again. Let's go.
Yeah, that's all that's really related to the stage I want to talk about. Other than, yeah, this getting that Goomba up takes like an hour plus of passing each time in order to get the star that's right to shoot. So keep that in mind.
Oh, did you do that slightly differently?
Yeah. I did them like slightly differently, like saving a bit of time each run through. I found that it is actually faster to avoid the Comet Medal, which I really didn't think it would be. But you can get an extra... You could skip another Thwomp cycle if you don't get the Comet Medal.
Oh, we have to be on this side of the Goomba here, otherwise we won't be able to bounce off it to get up to the Fire Flower. Getting on the other side of the Goomba can be kind of difficult in 2D sections, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. An excellent segue into my next point. How do 2D sections work in this game? It's my understanding that it's just two invisible walls on either side of Mario, right?
Yep.
So that you can only move left and right. I don't know any more about them.
I think it is just they did just kind of cheese.
Yeah.
So
Also, I should
believe
point out,
there's
getting up that ledge there is extremely weird, and I don't know how it works.
I think it's a
you,
little
like-
slope or something.
It's not a
And then
slope,
there's also the
but
it's
if
also
you
the
like run
3D.
into it in just the right way, then you can like get into the next gravity area, and then you can get it.
Yeah.
It isn't a slope.
Yeah,
it's just
that makes
a wall.
sense.
But
Yeah.
you need
It
like
kind of looks like
if you go too
No,
fast,
sorry,
you
what?
won't be able to make it. You need to run into it at like just the right speed and positioning, and then you can like, trigger the next gravity area. It's very weird.
I wonder if like the rounded corner of the block that you run into, I wonder if that like lets you get inside of it a little bit and maybe switch gravity. I don't really know.
Maybe.
That was sort of what I meant by the sloped thing. Is that maybe it's got like some kind of it's not a proper wall.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I don't know.
maybe.
And it's even weirder
know.
because it's not at Mario's feet; it's like at his hands. But I guess the game isn't really keeping track of what part of Mario is touching it. Probably just like keeping track of like is Mario touching it?
At
you know?
some point, I should go through and like try to understand all like the Mario's hitbox and speed and stuff in this game. Because I feel like that'd be really cool to like know more precisely why stuff like that works or doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be funny if you just copy and pasted the Star 1 commentary over top of both the Green Star?
That would be funny. It's just the same thing. What did we talk about?
Sadly, we would have to cut.
Yeah, that sounds like that requires effort.
Yeah.
I'm already putting a non-zero amount of effort to like. Also, I love how you can avoid some of the points.
It gets better each attempt.
It's almost as if I'm doing it multiple times and I'm finding ways to go faster each time. / hopefully make it mildly.
Actually, I think that's a good example. The Toad there being like not in the line of Mario. He's kind of like farther back on the block, which I guess makes sense. Mario's trapped between two invisible walls. I guess the Toad is just farther back in 3D space, and you just can't interact with them because you can't go through the wall.
Yeah. So the thing that I remembered about that is that I'm pretty sure the back of a 2D section is a proper wall, but I know at least the front, or maybe the back as well, and it's only for specific ones. But the front definitely isn't a wall, but it's like a compressor almost. If you try and enter a 2D section from the front, you very slowly get dragged in, no matter how fast you go towards it.
In getting Green Star.
Yeah.
I love that weird fireball bounce.
Perfect example.
I didn't notice it.
Wow, it's almost like we planned this ahead.
Pretty sure you can see an example of that compressing thing in this Green Star grab coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, and like people talk about like Galaxy being like, there's not a lot of game-breaking stuff in it, like in stuff like Sunshine or 64, and that is pretty true in general. But the more I look at this game, I'm like,
you have to look for the game-breaking stuff in
it.
this.
They really did weird stuff in it.
That wall slide always gets me.
So
definitely did a slower. Also, for some reason, his head isn't on the shadow.
Yeah, your head gets looked off. Yeah.
People make a creepypasta about Luigi being hanged in Luigi's Mansion, but they don't make a creepypasta about that.
You don't make a creepypasta about headless Mario when doing weird gravity shenanigans.
They don't make a creepypasta about the ghost Luigi that gets drowned.
Oh
yeah.
Lore reveal?
He's the captain of the sunken ghost ship?
Fluffy Buff 1, which features the most recent A-Press save in all of this.
Yeah, I'll try to elaborate on it when we get to it. Actually, Annoying might want to, because I think he used the one that... You've been trying to save that for years.
Yeah, that wall over on the right haunts my nightmares.
And it's still not 0x, I think it's still 0.5.
I think it's 0.5. Is it?
0.5 is essentially 0, but less cool.
0 asterisks.
Exactly.
Oh, also, thing to point out about the star. So, in the TAS, we went for... Why is it faster? Okay. Is it not faster? Or is this just YouTube being weird?
Is what not faster?
I feel like... Okay, Discord stream was doing something and it looked really fast. Bam.
Gotcha. No, I haven't sped it up or anything.
In this task, we got, like, all of the stars. So we also made it a thing to get all of the comet medals. Also, this cloud is very jank. We can use it to just skip...
We'll see that later.
This area, But, yeah, this is one of the few levels where getting the comet medal adds an A-press.
For sure, the only other levels where that happens is there are both in World S.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I would have thought more comet medals would have taken A-presses, but It's weird. So we use the A press to long jump to the launch star with the cloud dimension jump thing. And we can get to the launch star without it, but the issue is we need these clouds in order to get up to the comet medal. And if we would have gotten to the launch star without an A press, we would use all our clouds. So
Yeah, you can either get to the launch star and jump into the comet medal, or jump into the launch star and use clouds to get the comet medal. So one of them won't take an A press.
Yeah, and luckily you only have to grab the comet medal on the first star, or the first time you pick it up.
yeah, so it's cool how we can
So
show
otherwise,
up
we
with
just
them.
get to ignore it.
So here's the most recent A press, which is getting up this wall area thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
basically, you just
bird
wanna get
is
a-
going on a journey.
Yeah,
Yeah, not to the extent of a Goomba in Right Side Down, but still pretty interesting.
Also, yeah.
Usually,
this
he
is
doesn't even want to come over to the ball. Ball.
Yeah, so getting
Yeah.
up that wall, it was actually 2 A presses because you need it for both this star and Green Star 3. So that was 2 A presses saved.
Yeah, the old strat. I want to say you have the option of just using a backflip, or you could climb up the tree and jump off of it, and then you get up there with 3 clouds.
Yeah.
But we don't have to do that anymore.
There are a few ways to do it, but yeah, that way is actually really cool. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to
Small dialogue skip there?
Avoid Captain Toad.
Yeah, do not want to talk to him when you do not have to.
That's the second time we've avoided talking to Captain Toad this one. Out of the 2 times they normally speak, I think.
Do we make the obvious joke now?
Oh, the obvious joke that Captain Toad can't speak.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is what.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we should make that joke. Maybe we should just ignore it, sweep it under the
Okay.
rug.
Classic.
Gotcha. All right. So, let me see how far in the run we are. I think we are about 2/3 of the way done.
Yeah,
Maybe a little
there's
bit more.
27 minutes left.
Oh, definitely a little bit more.
This next star is sick. This might be my
Yeah,
favorite star in the
love
entire
this
game.
next star.
It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Is this Every Planet Has Its Price? Oh, I'm sorry. No,
This one is the-
Chimp Stomp Challenge.
Yeah, it's the chimp one first.
This is even better than Every Planet Has Its Price.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I worked on it.
Well, you worked on both of them.
I
You
did.
worked on like this whole galaxy, basically.
I know, but I definitely prefer this one. This is my magnum opus of World 1.
Hey, Pat.
So annoying. Do you want to talk about all of the routing that went into this, and like maybe it's a little bit of its history?
Okay, so essentially, the first time you collect a 1-up mushroom and a life shroom, you get a dialogue A press saying, "You collected a 1-up. Here's what they do." So if you don't collect any 1-ups and life if you don't collect any life shrooms or 1-ups throughout the entire game, you'll avoid those dialogue A presses. Also, we want to avoid coins, and we can collect star bits, but we would have to shoot them out later, but we can still collect them. So essentially we need to avoid a lot of stuff. So the only way for us to get points is to bounce off of enemies, and if you do some sick strats, you will get just barely enough points for the entire star,
It like works
which
out. So
you're about to see right here.
And also a thing which is cool to note. This is from a full game file, so there's just a lot more points. But in a full game run, if you break the high score, as opposed to just matching it, that is actually more dialogue from the chimp, because they're going to be like, whoa, you got a new record. Whereas if you get exactly 10k points, you still get the star, but it's less dialogue, so it's efficient to get precisely 10,000 points.
Yeah, we had to redo the star because originally I tried to get as many star goods as I could at the end, just to flex, which is very unoptimal.
Also,
you notice that we saved this Goomba here.
Getting the Goomba out of there.
Yeah. And now we kind of just mess around until the timer runs out.
Yeah. It's also neat how we, like, pretty nicely have, like, all the time. And then, yeah, don't die. Oh, also thing to point out, the reason a lot of the first text boxes are slow is because it's generally a rule we make where if you're doing the dialogue, then also yeah, six star. Yeah. If you're doing the dialogue,
yep,
we generally make it a rule that if the whole stage is 0x, like you didn't hold A before the dialogue, just for like completeness, you don't want to hold A once the dialogue is over, just to like say the whole thing was like 0 as opposed to 0.5. So yeah, that's why we didn't have A held from the previous dialogue to make that dialogue fair. Minor thing.
I just want to. Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah, just a quick. Sorry, you first.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to pick up on the thing with the high score with getting exactly 10,000. For some reason, it's only the Fluffy Bluff Chimp Challenge that is true for. So if you don't get a high score on that, it's just one text box compared to 3 if you get a high score. But then on the other 2 challenges, it's 3 for both results. It's really strange.
Really? That's extremely odd.
That's really neat.
Also, one more thing. So this is all in the like the English edition of it. So didn't someone do an analysis of like all the text boxes and figure out which was more A presses, or is it just like kind of?
I did it for the.
I remember seeing a comment in a video where Purple said that the English has fewer text boxes than.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
There are just some cases where, while like Japanese and Chinese, I think even Korean, I know at least for Galaxy 1, Korean is faster. Like, it's the fastest language.
Yeah.
Despite them being faster, they also take more text boxes in some places. And like even for the ending cutscene, I don't remember which ending cutscene. It's either the any percent one or the. Well, that's the only one, isn't it? Never mind. But like, there's extra pages for the ending cutscenes as well, which is even weirder because they're not proper boxes. It's just text on a screen.
Oh yeah, small thing I want to note here. You can't like once you unlock the galaxy from feeding a hungry Luma, you can't just like undo it like ever. So we collect 100 coins in here for the sake of demonstration. But obviously, we didn't have to talk to that guy.
I could have hacked in from a save state. I could have made the Hungry Luma not fed, but it's from full file, so we'll do it from the full file.
Oh, we should probably explain what a full file is. That's basically just we've collected every star. We have 999 coins, 999 star bits, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like the max. And what else? We've
Such as all
collected
stars,
all the power-ups.
999.
Yeah, this is 100% complete file.
Yeah.
But we're just
also,
going through it again.
I love how you can get away with not grabbing any of those coins by just like walking. The hitbox is like.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Oh, we've never talked about what cloud bridging is. It's pretty simple. It's just you use 2 clouds that are close enough and on the same like relative height, so that you can just walk across them. And if you do it near a cloud flower, then you can go out 2 clouds worth of distance, come back, grab another cloud flower, and you can really get 5 out of there.
So, 2 things to note. A, that wheel's weird. B, that is the final game gameplay A press in the entire TAS.
Nice.
So
I don't
other than
think
the
anyone
8,
really
which I
knows
use
why
for
that
dialogue
wheel.
skips, you can do it annoying. You do that.
I don't think anyone knows why that wheel, you can run up it and then become airborne, even though you should walk down onto the other side of the wheel.
It's definitely to do
This
with
galaxy
tilt.
jank.
We finally
You can
Oh
do
yeah.
a similar
Shout out
thing.
to Tilt.
Yeah, you can do a similar thing in Gateway Galaxy, and I think Dusty Dune as well. It's just if there's so much tilt on a slope, and you run up it at full speed, then you'll go airborne for a little bit.
I think I was doing, like, in the Battle Rock 3 task I'm making, in order to trigger the boss fight, you need to do, like, something like that off of a rail. For some reason, you can walk up and then get airborne off a rail, where normally you just run into it. It's weird.
I'm assuming it's because, like, intended index position is too high for the ground to catch you.
I guess, yeah. So those are all the... So I believe in this task, there's the one gameplay which is starting player 2. There's 7 used for just dialogue skips in Sky Station 1. Well, just Sky Station, not just First Star. And then it's 2 in Spindig and 2 in Fluffy Bluff. And those are the proper A presses. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool that it's so low. Also, when we started making this task, there were like 7 more A presses, and like over the course of making it, we saved like a lot of them.
Oh yeah, this is really weird. So if you're holding down A right there. Alright. So this, to clarify, this is currently 0.5 A presses?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're holding A there, and your camera, I'm not sure if the camera is essential, but it definitely made it more consistent for me. If it's perpendicular to the direction you're falling backward. If Mario, and only Mario, is holding down A, you will get a little bit more height out of your spin when creating the cloud. And once you create the cloud and fly backwards off of it, you get like an insane amount of backward momentum. And that is enough to get you to Green Star. You could do it for Green Star 2, but it's not essential.
Game are so broken.
Oh yeah.
Not even
I
really
think,
just
like,
a bad way, they just like don't make sense, like momentum from them.
I think with Green Star 1 there, I saved it a long time ago. And then when making the task, people were like, hey, how the fuck did you do this?
How did you get enough momentum that's like...
Yeah. Like, annoying. Are you sure this is 0.5?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Right.
Well, I can't get it, so it must be impossible.
It was originally as Luigi, because they had a lot more momentum, and then while making the task, you were like, hey, let me try it as Mario. And then it kind of worked out.
Yeah, I just assumed that, oh, well, you do a spin here, maybe that has something to do with Mario's spin.
The fact that you made that Mario instead of Luigi, doesn't that make the whole stage Mario? Like, you don't use Luigi at all now?
I think so.
So I think that you doing this as Mario as opposed to Luigi, I think saved that Ghost A-Press thing.
Yeah. One more clarification about Luigi. Obviously, he does accelerate faster, so you'd think he'd get more back momentum, and it'd be easier to get off the cloud with him. But he just doesn't get like any height when generating the cloud. So I don't know what's up with that.
Although the backwards momentum does let you clear the cloud the same way that Mario does in Green Star 1.
Oh, okay.
Like you can still spin, form a cloud, and not land on it with Luigi.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Nice total count. Oh, it's gone already.
Oh, okay. I now see what you meant this whole time. I will not say why.
Astute viewers will get it.
So is Green Star 3? Yeah, Green Star 3 is just like the same as the first
Green Star 1, 2.
a different.
Although since we don't collect a comet medal, it takes one less A press.
Actually, it is actually kind of significantly different. Yeah, because there's no comet medal, and we need the half A press to get up the wall. We can use the half A press for just the whole level, which makes climbing. Did anyone ever test? Like, did anyone look into can you just cloud? Probably. I was wondering if you could cloud up from the big cloud to like the
to the last planet. I looked at that
with half an press, but probably it's probably good.
Yeah, I had no luck with that, even with insane cloud momentum.
That's
small thing right there. So the automatically created clouds, like the ones that the devs put in. I don't know why I'm phrasing like that. Like the clouds that are already there, you can go through the bottom of them. And I don't think you can, or at least you can't do it as easily with the player-generated clouds from the Cloud Flower. And so when you create a cloud inside of another cloud, it pushes you upwards, or maybe sometimes it'll push you downwards. But ideally, you want to go upwards. And that will let you generate a cloud higher than you normally should be able to. And we do that during Cloudy Court 1 and Green Star 3. But we also just do it there.
It's also used in the ultimate test.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
I should look into that. I'm surprised it's...
Actually, the ultimate test has a lot of niche glitches that are used in it, like the delayed Yoshi flutter. That's used in it. The little jank height boost with clouds. The initial star is like the ultimate test is 0.5.
Yeah.
And
like
the perfect run is 2.
To do the perfect run.
Oh, and we just use the same trick to get up again.
I'm surprised that it ends up like I would think that there's something in it that would force it to at least just the first version of the star to not be 0, but I'm surprised it is. It's kind of cool.
It's one of the hardest levels
be...
that's possible RTA.
It's almost as if
here's there too.
The whole thing about it is that it's
pulling an enemy
to be sort of a big final challenge or something.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
What a crazy concept.
Oh, I was gonna say something that I forgot about. Oh yeah, the cloud part in the not the perfect run, the ultimate challenge. That used to have quite a few A presses in it, if I remember correctly. But annoying.
It was 2.
No, was it 2? Okay. Well, he just found a sick damage boost strat through there, and I just think that's worth pointing out.
Annoying found like a lot of. We found a lot of A-press saves.
And all RTA
really easier A-press saves, mainly because I just do stuff RTA, I don't TAS.
It hasn't saved a lot, but you saved, like, some of them I'm definitely would not be able to get RTA.
My personal favorite is still the Toy Time 3 boss fight.
I don't know Toy Time 3. I don't know, like, a lot of the strats for the game. At least, like, the actual how you do a lot of stars, right? Final Galaxy.
Oh, are we...
Fiery Flotilla.
That's crazy. 4 stars to go.
Just quickly, I did remember just watching the climbing section at the end of Fluffy Bluff there. In the first star, you do a wall spin, which is, well, wall spin knockback would be the better term. And then suddenly you just warp up onto the ledge, and that's because I forgot what they're called, bumps. The bump is moving out as you grab the ledge, and so you just get warped up it, which is a weird little trick.
Better than Mario 64, that game will just shove Mario off the ledge.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to the Goom Beetle, the second one of the stage. That was kind of levitating.
Isn't this like one of the only like the Goombas with the helmet and like the whole?
I really don't know.
reading
They're
somewhere-
definitely not as common.
I remember reading somewhere that like though like the I think they're called Astrobubas, which is so bad. For some reason I remember reading that those were like the only two in like all of Galaxy 2. Like those ones right there.
Unfortunate because they're so useful because
They
you can
are,
move
like,
them
one of the
anywhere
most-
and you can home and ground pound off them.
They are one of the most useful
Yeah.
ones. You can't like use star bits to move them around now. But yeah. They are like one of the most useful. Yeah, and then Bowser.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
more
talk to
menuing.
Bowser, the dialogue.
Disgusting. Luckily, Gobblegut can't talk, so that's really nice.
True. Yeah, boss fight's just normal. Nothing really to say about it. Well, there is the crystal float at the end, which is great.
Billy, you spoiled it. I want it to be a surprise.
No.
Well, they probably would have figured it out. It's a round planet with crystals on it,
Yeah.
and it's a boss fight arena, which we've already discussed.
Yeah, that's sort of like it's either it's useful for either boss fight planets to like collect the star, or if you're in a flat area, you can just get sort of all the height in the world, basically.
Yeah. I also just want to talk about how crystal floating brings like an interesting dynamic to ABC boss fights. You want to, because you need the crystal to be unbroken whenever you do it, you need to make sure that during the fight, the desired crystal is not broken. And I just think it's interesting. That's something you never worry about, like just playing it normally.
I think some people intentionally just break. Like I know some people in like Yoshi Star 2 for speedruns, they just break all the crystals immediately so that they don't have to worry about them breaking later and then picking up the coin and getting that text box.
Yeah. There's the crystal float, by the way.
There it is, and we've got the Grand Star.
All right, run over. Let's go.
And
Alright, congratulations, guys.
all of the stars. There's not 3 more.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
Billy, I think you miscounted. The total only says 179, but the title says 193.
What? That's weird.
What's up with
Yeah,
that?
this is
Over yet?
clickbait.
What?
Wait, there's still like 7 minutes in this run? What's going on?
I'm surprised it's only 7 minutes. I guess the rest of the stars are like.
Yeah. Because
I
like
think
for
this is the second
Instead of a
quickest
run.
galaxy other than Flip Swap. Flip Swap's like.
it definitely helps. Yeah, definitely helps there's only 4 stars instead of 6.
Yeah. Well, this next star is just the exact same boss fight, but it's a speed space run, which makes it not any more difficult.
By the way,
Very true.
nice menuing total about 10 seconds ago.
Man, I missed
That
it
was
again.
your last opportunity too.
I mean, unless gameplay goes up to 69 out of nowhere.
Yeah, unless we just do 57 more gameplay impressions, right?
Yeah. This is a weird mission.
Yeah, I personally, if I was designing this, also, I would have made it a daredevil. The speedrun just makes it feels like such artificial difficulty, and it's not even.
And it's not even that tight.
Like you have to miss
I mean, yeah,
so many
speedy combat's
cycles
kind of
in order
hard,
to
just
make-
like-
in order to miss the 2 minutes.
Speed comments kind of are just, we couldn't think of anything to add to this galaxy, but we need another star here.
I mean, some of them,
Yeah,
like,
facts.
like
You know, this might.
you can say that. You can.
Oh, I was just gonna say this might be an interesting fast foe, despite there being no fast foes in this game.
God, fast.
I don't
know. I'm curious how that
Wish
would work.
fast foes
That
were in
could
this
have
game.
the potential to be so much harder.
Imagine Fast Foe Stone Cyclone.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, imagine them making a
My favorite
galaxy game
part.
where the Stone Cyclone planet is a fast foe. Imagine them doing that.
You know, what a crazy concept.
Alright.
Nice. Oh, just a clarification. This is either at PurpleSun, Unwind, or Billy. I'm not sure who knows most about this. But can you just crystal float off of any crystal if you wanted to? Or how would you
There's more
win
clear
and
ones.
why
I know
do
that.
we crystal float?
The opaque light blue crystals, which I think you only really see in Yoshi Star and Sky Station. You can't go off of those because I don't think they have an NPC sphere in them. So you can land on them and they act like slopes instead of you getting pushed off them. I think
like
those are the
actual
only
drones.
crystals that you can't use. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think there are two or three different shapes of crystals, and one of them is much harder to float off than the others. But I'd have to look through the whole game again.
Gotcha.
Last Star has some cool Goomba manip in it. This star is like a lot had to work. There's a lot of like cycles going on in this star.
Yeah.
So in order to
Shoutouts to Salad again.
in order to get this star, you use the Magic Koopa to shoot the Galoombas, I think. Is their name?
I think
those
so.
are Galoombas.
Yeah.
The flat ones.
Yeah.
You need to time being on the thwomp and being off the thwomp differently. It's like there's a lot of jumps I can go. Then you can do this and just barely get up here.
Yep. And now we just make our way over to the green
That's
star.
like the last like really complicated thing left. The entire rest of the run is pretty straightforward. But yeah, like that star has a lot of weird stuff in it. Like I need to shoot the Magic Koopa with the star bit so that the cycle of them shooting the Galoombas is sort of better matched with the thwomp cycle. And also on the thwomp, instead of the Magic Koopa just shooting at you, they will shoot at the last time you were on the ground. So what I do there is that I'm on the top of the thwomp, and then I spin off of it, and then while I'm on the way down, the Magic Koopa shoots the Galoomba up to where I was before, so that the Galoombas actually get on the thwomp. It's there's a lot of like strict timing things that go on. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So since this is the final stage and it's like pretty simple, I think the only real tech we use is like getting hit by fire and like bouncing up a little bit.
Yeah.
And by a little bit, I mean a significant amount. You'll see it, and you'll definitely understand what it is.
Yeah, this is just
But any interesting tech we just want to mention before the end of this run and the end of the commentary?
Yeah, what is some tech that's like not in this World 1 text? There's
Mega flips.
oh yeah, mega flips.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty helpful.
Well, they do take an A press, which is
Yeah.
tragic.
Yeah.
If they get it
But
out.
it's better
If they
than
get
the
it out,
alternative
so-
of wall jumping.
Yeah.
Lily pad raising, but that's like barely used anymore.
I think it's used once. No, it's used twice.
B checkpoint / enemy hit hovering.
Oh
don't-
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
Yeah.
I don't think it's used anywhere yet.
Well, we're getting there.
Could be.
very
Yes.
ominous.
I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody's done a lot of the B stages are we do not have videos for yet, so we definitely need to look into those.
There you go. That's all the stars, and then the final A press to save the game.
Oh, do we want to talk about the cursor stuff?
Nah, we'll leave it there. We'll leave that there.
That'll be a beautiful mystery.
Yeah. And I just go through
Oh,
and sort of
underrated part of the video.
recap all
Yeah,
of the
very cool.
individual stages.
I forgot you did this, but I'm very glad you did it.
I was like, and there you go. That's a task.
Nice.
Oh, one thing I want to point out.
Any final notes?
Oh, you want to watch some Super Mario Maker 2?
I'd rather not.
One thing that I don't think we pointed out, just like a couple things. So in order to do the menuing, Though, like, one bit of menuing that you think normally would need an A press but doesn't is that on the world map, to zoom in or zoom out from, like, the top-down map where it's, like, world 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, S, you can zoom in and out of that with D-pad up and D-pad down, and not by pressing the A button on zoom out or zoom in. That's, like, the only bit of menuing that you think would need an A press but doesn't.
Yeah, typically if something looks like it needs an A press, in Galaxy it probably will require an A press.
Yeah. Yeah, any...
Also, pull stars can be grabbed with the B button in this game.
Oh yeah, that is an exception.
Oh yeah, that's a neat Galaxy 1 versus Galaxy 2 difference. Where in Galaxy 2, you can use pull stars with B, but only if you're not also holding down A.
As we found the hard way in, was it
Whereas in Galaxy
Space Storm
1,
or
you
Melty
need to
Molten?
press A for it.
I think it was Melty Monster.
Yeah.
Alright, well, it was good having you guys. Thanks for doing this again.
We finally got the commentary done like 3 months later. Bye.
Perfect.
Bye.
Bye.